What's going on there, guys? It's Mac. Hope you guys are well. Today, as you can see from the title, we are reviewing the 8BitDo M30 Bluetooth controller. I picked this up from Amazon UK. QMox was the company that was distributing it. So I paid £21 for it. A very good deal. It's gone down in price definitely from when it was released. I've been planning on getting this for a while. I just haven't got it yet because there's been a few reasons for not getting it. Because I wanted to wait for the Mega Drive's official licensed versions of Sega Mega Drive Bluetooth controllers. I think they're done by Retrobit or Hyperkin, where they're releasing the joystick version. So you've got analog sticks as well as D-pad, but because it didn't have a joystick, I wasn't picking it up. But then what happened was that this game came out, and this game only accepts analog stick input. So we're talking no Game Boy style D-pad no longer being used for this game that originally was based on a Game Boy DMG. So very weird option that they're waiting for with that route. I'm sure they will probably patch it in at some point, but at the moment there is no patch for it, and I really want to play this in with using a D-pad. And I've had plenty of D-pads in the past. I mean, 8BitDo, I've got plenty of their stuff. If you look at all these three things combined, 8BitDo are going in. They've done really cool options. This is the Nes Style D-Pad with joystick, analog sticks, and all the right triggers, so you can actually get all the buttons for that. I've been meaning of doing a review on these for a long time. I just haven't got around to doing it. This is the Nes Style one with the actual colors with the buttons. Looks brilliant, and it's got the analog sticks. I was thinking of picking up the one with it's called the SM30 Pro Plus, where they have the actual analog sticks, the handles, but I'm not going to get that one at the moment because for some reason they removed the actual PAL version of the coloring. So now it's only the NTSC coloring and the Game Boy coloring and the black Mega Drive style coloring. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up at the moment, but anyway, let's just see. So these are the 8BitDo ones. I've got 8BitDo dongles. I've got the Mega Drive dongle as well. So they've actually released a 2.4 gigahertz version where it connects to a dongle and you can plug it directly into the original system. I picked up the Bluetooth version. I picked up the Bluetooth dongle that it comes with as well. So you can actually pick up a M30, what do they call it? It's this thing over here. They call it the retro receiver for Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. So they have that too if you wanted to pick that up, and I've already got that one. I just wanted to do a review on it, but I haven't got a chance to do it yet. But anyway, it will work on that. But the main reason I got it is because this one actually has an update that's now allowing it to work with you can change the D-pad input so that it actually resembles the left analog stick or the right analog stick, and you can also have a button input that actually changes the A, B and XY over, so it flips it around, and the XY flips it around. So that's really cool. So I'm looking at this website 8BitDo, and I've pretty much got so many of this stuff now. Absolutely love this company. They have a lot of awesome products that I've been using. You know, these USB dongles allow me to use my PS4, Xbox One controllers on my Nintendo Switch. So I've had plenty of options of different ways of actually using controllers on the Nintendo Switch. And they've started moving into the Mega Drive style. Now I wasn't too sure about the button layout, but they do have an L and an R trigger, and as well as they've got the fight pad layout style, A, B, C and X, Y, Z. So obviously you've got all the buttons there. You've got the share button and the capture button, as well as the start and select, which is like your plus and minus button. So I'm going to just open this up. I'm also going to open this game, and I want to try it on this. This is the Sega Mega Drive Classics Collection, still sealed, and the Zelda Link's Awakening. Obviously, it would be so cool to play these on the D-pad with a rolling D-pad. I mean, I can play it on the analog stick, but the D-pad on the Pro is not that good, as well as the fact that it won't work on this. What this controller is going to do is that it's going to actually change this on input with a combination. I mean, by default, it actually works as the analog stick. So that's really cool. So I don't need to do any button presses, but if I wanted to, I can swap it over for it to function this area or that area. So quite a good seal. So that's just the sleeve that just comes off, and that lifts up. And here we have little plastic container that comes out, and here we go. We've got actually button inputs here, which is you've got switch input, D input, X input, and Mac OS input. So you can change these modes by using the buttons at the back there. So it's quite nice to put that sticker there. I had to do it myself for these ones, and this one over here for the other one. But so for the switch mode, it's basically Y and power. For D input, it's B and power together. For X input, it's X and power, and for Mac OS, it's A and power. So you're gonna hold on the power button. You've got indication lights at the bottom. That's the controller, the L and R, and it's USB Type C, and you've got a sync button right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to get a feel for it. It's basically the Mega Drive Sega Saturn inspired controller. So they've got that bean-shaped design, which is actually more comfortable than the Mega Drive layout, which was more of a, like a, I would say it's more of a boomerang. So this is really cool. Got a start button there, a bit plasticky, but yeah, the D-pad. I mean, I saw a lot of reviews where the D-pad where people were saying that it's very clicky and crackly. That sounds very good to me. And then I think these function as ZL and ZR on the Switch, and you got these functioning as the L1 and R1s at the front here. So the main reason I didn't want to get it is because I didn't want to be using the small buttons for the Nintendo Switch. I wanted to use obviously A and B being the bigger buttons, but I know that you can flip them around so that the right way that is face, well, obviously the way it looks over here, you can switch it around so that it plays as a Nintendo Switch. So you'll have the A's and B's and the X and Y's flipped over, so it looks more like this on a Nintendo system. But obviously the top buttons were a bit smaller than the bottom ones, but what you're getting is a wireless solution. It's got no rumble, it's got no additional features like that, but for a D-pad that's already configured to run with the left analog stick, that's pretty cool. So there's no actually settings to do on that one. You can do it, play it straight away. 8BitDo M30 controller by 8BitDo. This is some of the specs they have. So controller mode, you have X input, D input, Mac mode and switch mode, and compatibility with Windows, Android, Mac OS, Steam and Nintendo Switch. You have turbo functionality. And it's a lag-free experience, wireless Bluetooth, USB-C, and that's all the things that come in the box. Here's the controller over here, and here you can see from the update log that the update actually allows you guys to do this these options here. So this is a new update that happened. Hold on select and D-pad up to make it the D-pad. Select and D-pad left, that makes the left joystick. Select and D-pad right to make it the right joystick. Select and D-pad down to swap A, B and X, Y only on switch mode. So you can press and hold the above key combination for 5 seconds. Red LED will blink to indicate when successful. So this is really cool. You can actually do this now. And we also got fixed input lag issues when playing with Super Smash Brothers. So that's really cool. Fix the pop-up window error when using amiibos as well, so that's interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to just quickly install this update now. What you need to do is hold L and R and start for 1 second. Red light will blink. Connect to the PC via USB cable. Click USB update button and select firmware file. Once you locate it, you can see new firmware is 1.3 or 1.13 and current is 1.10. So let's press OK to that. And that should update. And then once the update features go through, we should have all of the new features from here. Few features I want to quickly just mention. So from the diagram you can see your D-pads here. You got select in the middle, you got start at the top, which is select is your minus and the start is your plus. It does actually say that as well. R and L pair button,
and you've got your home button, which is the sort of the squares, and then your start icon is the start button, which is your screen capture, I believe. So that's your home button, and instantly it's synced pretty much instantaneously. The way to turn it off is by you're going to press start to turn on the controller, press and hold start for 3 seconds to turn off the controller, and press and hold start for 8 seconds to force turn off the controller. To change it into the actual so to flip the A and B button over and the X and Y buttons over, I powered it down and then I held on select, which is the minus button, and the down button together for 5 seconds, and then what happens, the top red light indicates to show. This little circle there, that's the red indication light. That little indication light blinks to indicate that it's changed, and as far as I can see, it hasn't forgotten its memory, so it remains A being now B, and B now being A, so it's flipped them both around, so now it works for the switch. And I'm just going to go over to the button input so you can see what they look like over here, and that's coming up as B now, and B is now coming up as A, X is coming up as Y, and Y is coming up as X. Start is plus, minus is select, is minus, home button and screen capture button is these. R is ZR, and L is ZL. Z button over here is L, and the C button here is R. So these two are the left and right triggers. Noticing straight away is that the D-pad over here is just so much more smoother because it's that rolling D-pad. It just feels so smooth. You can actually pull off moves, I think, way easier. If you do it with this one here, the D-pad on here is a lot more sharper, and it's not the best D-pad. This D-pad obviously is the Sega style to get around the copyright of the official D-pad made by, or trademarked by Nintendo. So yeah, I mean, I'm really liking the way this D-pad feels, man. It just feels nice and easy to use. It's a rolling D-pad, and I'm pretty much, I can play Zelda now and Link's Awakening without any issue. This game doesn't actually support any form of rumble either, so I won't be losing out on anything because it doesn't have any HD rumble. So I can use this for a lot of the 2D games that uses D-pad as usual, and if it uses analog stick it will work as well, but this one by default uses analog stick. I know on Sonic Mania the D-pad works anyway, so but this one is emulating the joystick, so again, not an issue. You know, Mega Drive games only really uses a few buttons anyway, so it works brilliantly. I can use a rolling D-pad and make it feel like a full-on Sega game. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm liking it, man. It's comfortable, and it'll be nice to just pop in your pocket and you can play Zelda Link's Awakening when you're out and about. You know, obviously on tabletop mode. So that is how you play Zelda Link's Awakening with the actual D-pad, and this D-pad is freaking awesome. 8BitDo's M30 D-pad. That was my unboxing and review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will be reviewing this game. I won't open this up now. I'll open it up and review it with this controller and see how it functions with this controller, as well as the normal Switch Pro controller. So we'll see how that works. But for now, I want to get this and take this and a bit of peace and quiet and enjoy this game. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Until next time, take it, guys. This is Mac. Peace out.